Schumann.
Hey everybody, ready to turn your cameras on? Just kidding, I know seniors don't turn their cameras on. Okay. It's a little joke. If you guys don't like that joke, it's going to be only 7 minutes. All right, class of 21. Thank you so much for having me here to chat with you all today. I know today's a big day, so I wore literally the nicest dress that I own. I've actually known for quite some time that I'd be speaking here today. In 2019, Julie and Abigail were in my classroom when I got an email telling me that the graduates that year had correctly chosen Mr. Jernigan to be their commencement speaker. Abigail said to me with certainty, "Don't worry, Mr. Schumann, when we graduate, our class will choose you." And here we are. Thank you for choosing me. In fact, aside from my wife Libby agreeing to marry me 12 years and 1 week ago, being chosen to speak here is probably the greatest honor of my life. So that got me thinking about all the other great Americans that I've seen speak at QO graduations. Supreme Court justices, members of Congress, Annie Coulson, Navy SEALs, self-made billionaires, Riley Hoffman, Jeff Jernigan. And I looked at the list of other speakers around Montgomery County this year. Sports Center's Scott Van Pelt, U.S. Representative Jamie Raskin, and I started to feel a little overwhelmed, right? Like I wasn't worthy. And then I got to thinking that the vast majority of you graduates are going to have a lot more in common with me throughout your life than with those other people. So maybe my thoughts for you guys will be relevant here after all. First things first, I don't really want to talk about COVID at all, ever again, but I heard Abby talking about this and it resonated with me. Last year, the class of 2020 lost the end of their senior year. And they got a lot of praise, a lot of attention, the whole community rallied around them to make it still feel special for them. Fast forward a little while, and you guys missed nearly your entire senior year. But it felt like everyone was kind of done with COVID and not making a big deal about you guys missing all that fun stuff. Anyway, I wanted to acknowledge for you all that you guys had it the toughest of all, even though 2020 maybe got a little more attention for it. You guys are really resilient, and this is a really difficult thing that you all went through. When people hear I'm a high school teacher, I often hear, "Oh my God, are we doomed in the future?" and things like that. Because they see teenagers on the news eating Tide Pods or whatever. But I tell people it's precisely because I'm a high school teacher that I feel really good about the future. Seeing what you guys are capable of, knowing how good you are, makes me feel pretty confident that our country will be in good hands once you guys are in charge. The way you guys sprung into action earlier this year, demanding a positive change that you wanted to see in our school and our school culture, was really inspiring. And for me, and I think probably the other government teachers, it was especially exciting because, you were doing the thing, right? At the end of the day, that's what we want from you guys, is to stand up and do something and make your community better. And you did it. And it made me really proud of you guys to see you do the things from our class in real life. Like how a math teacher must feel if you guys all banded together to factor quadratics. So you're in a really exciting moment in your life, not just because Beach Week is coming up, but because you get a fresh start. Like you're setting out on a road trip, but the best kind of road trip. The kind where you don't even know your destination yet. You know you'll have some fun, and you know you'll make some mistakes. You'll see some crazy things, meet interesting characters, try new foods, and at some point, probably run into some traffic. But those road trips are the most exciting ones. Once you leave here, it'll be a fresh start for you. You have the ability and the freedom to make a deeper connection to yourself and your identity. Find what makes you feel whole and happy. Fresh starts are rare in life. In fact, it's actually one of the pleasures of being a teacher. Every August, you get to wipe the slate clean and have a chance to try new things a new way, to have the benefit of learning from the past, using what works, and changing what didn't. Luckily for you, you're poised to embark on a fresh start that's going to be wonderful most of the time. If you have yet to discover what gives you that sense of pride or excitement, this is the perfect time to try new things and experiment with the person you'd like to be. Don't be afraid of failing. These proud and tearful faces you see surrounding you are your safety net. It's okay to not know the way or not have a plan. That's where you find your greatest adventures and create your greatest memories. Being an adult is just winging it most of the time anyway. So trust yourself, but be willing to change your mind. It doesn't mean that you're wishy-washy or that you can't make a commitment. It means you're self-reflective and thoughtful. I know it almost seems un-American at this point in our culture, but changing your perspective based on new information that you learned is what a smart person does. Especially in this era where we have so much fake news and so much real news being called fake news, sometimes you are going to be wrong. And that's okay. What isn't okay is to dig your heels in and insist that you're right in the face of actual evidence to the contrary. Again, it is okay to change your perspective when you learn new things. So not long ago, I heard one of our former presidents talking with some colleagues. Some college students. I don't have my reading glasses on. He said, this expectation of ideological purity and never compromise, you should get over that quickly. The world is messy. There are ambiguities. Really good people who do really good things also have flaws. People who you're fighting against also love their families and cheer for the home team just like you. When someone makes a mistake or has a flaw and apologizes and learns, it's okay to forgive them. You don't need to hold it against them forever that they weren't as woke as you or that they're too woke for you. The best way to make a change is not to look at your phone and be as judgmental as possible about other people. It's easy to call someone out and feel smug and superior about it. Trust me on that. But it's not a good vehicle to make real change. So on your road trip, I wish you clear skies, delicious regional delicacies, open road, great music, and companionship that fills your heart with love. Now, as I started thinking about what I could do to send you guys off with a bang, I thought of the question that you all asked me the most when you were in 10th grade. Is this reassessable? It's not. And heads up, after this, most things aren't reassessable. Now, the second question requires a little background. So, on Fridays in my classes for the parents, on Fridays in my class, before we start, I'd put on some beats, and we call it a Freestyle Friday, and I would let the kids freestyle rap. And as long as they were willing to rap, that could delay the start of work. And a lot of times kids wouldn't want to, and I'd say, do you want to rap? And I'd make them say, if they didn't want to, I'd make them say, no, I'd rather start work. Anyway, the question I always got, the most, aside from, is this reassessable, is, Mr. Schumann, why don't you ever rap for us on Freestyle Friday? And to be honest, 2 years ago, I had a 6-period class where Latasia, Jeremiah, Day-Day, Jakari, Jesse would all rap, all the time. And on the last day of school, I told them I'd rap with them, and I should have, but I didn't. So I thought maybe, instead of just listing off my best pieces of advice, I know it's not Friday, and I know it's not a freestyle, but I did write a rap for you guys. And I was wondering if you wanted me to spit this hot fire, because I wouldn't say I'm prepared to do it, but I'm going to do it. So, all right. And I'd like to see Scott Van Pelt or Jamie Raskin try this. All right, I gotta get my beats on here. Hold on. Can you guys hear that? Can you guys hear the beat? Can you hear my voice? All right. Well, I missed my cue, so I gotta start over. All right, I need you guys behind me on this. So I know it might be cringe to hear me try to rap, but I made a roadmap, and I think it kind of slaps. Class of 21, you are the best. Compared to 2020, man, it's no contest. What I really want to do is send you off with a bang, drop nuggets in your face like Jones, Brew, and Yang. Now I got the mic, but I'm not gonna hug it, spitting out bars like my man Mr. Doggett. I want to leave you sized and do something nice, and give you some pieces of Schumann's best advice. Life moves fast, so stop and look around. There's beauty and music, adventures abound. Get on the road, drive towards the sun. Work hard, but don't forget to have some fun. Always wear sunscreen, even if you're not fair. And for the love of God, order your steak medium rare. Always try new foods, you know you really should. So Daniel Tiger says it might taste good. Always pay your bills in full and on time. Skipping those payments ain't a victimless crime. The victim is you, so you know what to do. Pay those bills on time, like your man shoot. Now there's no way around it. This era kinda sucks, but here's something awesome you can do with your bucks. Save up some money, go out and explore. Go to Prague and Baltimore, Norway and Singapore. Go see the world and find some fun adventures. You might not have a chance when you're old and wearing dentures. Everyone has demons that you don't know about, so be kind and real. Don't say stuff just for clout. Stand up for yourself, don't take any crap, and don't smoke cigarettes. No cap. Being a jerk is something you should do none of, but no one is above getting made fun of. Always keep your word and always thank the host. Be nice to your siblings and love them the most. Be a nice person every single day. Be the first to say hello to folks you meet along the way. When you are friendly, you'll always be cool. And of course, don't forget the famous golden rule. Treat other people the way they want to be treated. That's a good way to keep things from getting heated. Take it from me, your man, Mr. Schumann. No one ever regretted being a good human. Now, money isn't everything, you know that's true. The best things in life will cost zero to you. But money is important. It's definitely something, so protect your pockets and don't spend a lot on dumb things. Now, men out here, on this I'm hell-bent. The only thing you can accept is consent. Affirmative. And freely give and treat women with respect in this life that you're living. Look out for each other. Learn to be a real ally. Don't let misogynists and racists even try. Stand up for justice and be true. Show the world that you know all humans have value. A lot of people say you really shouldn't cuss, but if we're being honest, those people are sus. To know yourself is the key to success, so don't worry about how the others are dressed. Don't let the cool kid say that you ain't hip, because if you know who you are, you got the drip. And if you hang your head, you're feeling embarrassed, know you're never too old to need your parents. And when you screw up, put on the brakes. Forgive yourself for your own mistakes. And if that happens and you get off track, your family and QO will always have your back. To cheer against your town seems so callous, so support the home team, unless you're from Dallas. As cliche as it sounds, this one is true. You only get one life, so do you. Before I sign off, my last advice is to put away your electronic devices. Be in the moment, because beauty is myriad. That's Schumann's best advice, period. Thank you guys, that was a lot of fun. Congratulations.
Not sure how I'm supposed to follow that up, but good morning, distinguished guests, faculty, friends, family, and fellow